inside the broadcast here. Waukee Northwest and Des Moines Roosevelt, Game 3 from the Brent Prange Classic at Jim Gebhardt Field here in Sadell. A beautiful backdrop here for you today, and as we go mostly audio broadcast here today, I just want to say thanks again to the Log Cabin Greek Steakhouse for making this broadcast possible each and every day. Thanks again for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, to what is, again, one of the best traditions in Iowa high school baseball, the Brent Prange Classic. Always great, always a heck of a time, and always entertaining. You get matchups that you just don't see very often across the slate and across the scene here. Always a fun outing, always a great time. And again, if you get the chance, get on over and catch a Brent Prange Classic t-shirt. Just $20 wherever you can, where all the sites they have them at. So make sure to get over there and have a great time with them. Again, we get a lot of matchups that just haven't been played a whole lot, including this one. This matchup here has been played just twice between the Northwest Wolves and the Rough Riders of Des Moines Roosevelt. So this is kind of a treat that we get to see here today, and certainly Game 3, if it's like any of the previous two, will be absolutely a blast to watch. And thanks again for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, into the broadcast. I'm Andrew Brown, giving you all the action here and there, and again, we'll take you through what is an abbreviated pregame report brought to you by the Casmium Sports. Check out Casmium Sports and what they can do for you and your program today at CasmiumSports.com. We'll go ahead and take a look at the Rough Riders, the home team on the scoreboard here, and we'll take a look at the last few games that they have played. They split against Ottumwa, followed by a split against, preceded by a split with Des Moines Lincoln and Ames, as well as a sweep over Des Moines North. Meanwhile, for the Waukee Wolves, they've already had one game here today in which they took a win over the Blue Jays of Bondurant-Farrar. Prior to that, they've won over Ankeny Centennial, a sweep over Valley, and a loss against Waukee before also big wins in Sioux City at Lewis and Clark Park against Sergeant Bluff-Luton and Bishop Heelan. And, of course, the Wolves, led by the one and only Jeremy Heinen, following his time at Urbandale, has had a very successful stint as the head coach of the Waukee Northwest Wolves. Randy Wee is doing the duty in yet another year for the Roosevelt Rough Riders. He takes up and he does. He filled in a need when they needed it the most, and he has since really done a great job in invigorating that program and sending it into the stratosphere, doing a great job there. Again, Randy Wee, the head coach here for the Des Moines Roosevelt Rough Riders. As for now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at what's on the docket here with both of these teams, and we'll take a look at the starting lineups here for both programs. And we're going to first start off as we bring up the Waukee Northwest Wolves. As you can see, Andrew Eastman starting things off, followed by Chase Jones at short. Eastman in center. Drew Fitzpatrick will trade his pitching duties for the DH role here in this game. He'll be followed by the Wartburg commit Tanner Jackson out in left field. And that will also be Reed Miller up next at third. That'll be followed by the first baseman in Caden Kitzman. Grant McCumus will be in right field. Cam Rourke will be doing the duties at second. And behind the dish at the catcher spot will be James Gilmore. And that will be the lineup and defensive positioning here for the Waukee Northwest Wolves. And now we go ahead and look at the Rough Riders of Des Moines Roosevelt. They look like this. Lucas Kelly in center field starts us off, followed by Luther Cox at first base. He'll also be followed by Kingston Cost at the shortstop position, and then the DH in Jonah Calderon will be at the cleanup spot. He'll be followed by Aiden Venz, the right fielder, and then Joey Ahrens at the hot corner at third. And then Rylan Malloy will be doing the duty in left field, followed by Miles Lorenzen at second. And the catcher in Kirsten Clausen will be behind the dish and the number 9 hole. The Rough Riders have their patented Blue tops, gray bottoms, and white stripe across the jersey with blue Roosevelt lettering. Meanwhile, the baby blues are out here for the Waukee Northwest Wolves and gray bottoms. And that is how both teams will sport things off in jersey-wise here as we kick off game number 3 here at the Brent Prange Classic. And, of course, make sure to get your Brent Prange Classic t-shirts wherever you go within these sites. Again, great chance to help support a lot of things along the way as well. We start out with ball 1 here in game number 3 as we get things rocking and rolling. And, again, up at the plate here is Andrew Eastman. Played a big role in game 1. Eastman ended up with 2 hits out of 3 attempts. A double and a single came around to score as well. And now he's up. The first man up for the Northwest Wolves. Lays down a bunt, pulls it back. Here we go 3-0. On the dish here for the Roosevelt Rough Riders as we take a look at what they're looking at here. It is Joe Schweisau who has just walked Eastman here. Schweisau so far on the year 1-3, 17 2/3 innings, has struck out 19. Batters hitting just .265 against him on the campaign. So a 4-pitch walk easily puts Eastman on at first. And now Chase Jones gets the chance to head on up. Jones also had a fairly productive outing in game 1, reached base once in 3 trips, hit by pitch, but stole a base and later came around to score. He takes a look at ball 1 to start things off. And Schweisau, 19 strikeouts on the season, looking to potentially add yet another to that mark. The corners are in, keeping him honest with the toss to first. And again, keeping them honest there at first. The 1-0 count here as we keep rolling right along. Don't forget to like, subscribe, spread the word, and catch us up on rockfin.com/IA Baseball. That's ROKFIN/IA Baseball. Get up on our rankings, our Volume 2 edition of our positional rankings, which are out currently right now. As that one's in off the knees here, that will be a strike.
Remember we had that issue another time, right?
And the 1-1 count, or excuse me, 2-1 is the count here. And again, keeping them lost. 3rd time that Schweisau has sent the ball on over to first. Eastman has a lot of is a dangerous threat to go ahead and run, that's for sure. And that one not quite in there. That makes it ball 3. Again, Eastman on the year, 12 out of 13 stolen base attempts. And they keep right back there on the 3-1 count here to the number 2 hole man and Chase Jones. Jones on the air as that one is perfectly laid down. The throw not in time. That one got some air time and landed as best as it could right into no man's land there. With the runner taken off, we now have runners at first and second here with nobody down. Heck of a play there. That was as picture perfect as you really want to place it there. So the single ends up putting runners on first and second for DH Drew Fitzpatrick, who had a pretty solid hitting game in that game 1. He walked and later came around to score against the Blue Jays. Would like to get his first official hit here in the Prange Classic. And squares around and takes it back, but in the end, it's strike 1. So Waukee Northwest against Des Moines Roosevelt. This has been a series that hasn't been looked at too much, and really, in fact, a series that hasn't happened all too much over recent seasons. Again, overall, just two times in their entire existence have they faced each other here, and both teams have taken at least one win in this bout. Again, last time up on the 22nd in 2022, I should say, Waukee Northwest a 10-7 winner. And earlier in that same doubleheader, Des Moines Roosevelt won that game 5-1. So again, both these teams currently tied in the all-time series 1-1. As we currently rock a 1-2 count here on the number 3 hole man, Andrew Fitzpatrick. And the pitch outside, he sends that one left field. Attempt, no go, and it gets past Malloy, and that will send one runner home and a runner on third. And that's an RBI double here for Drew Fitzpatrick to put the Wolves on the board first.
On that board, the Wolves is number 3 left fielder Tanner Jackson.
And that is not what you want to see when it comes to nobody out, is Tanner Jackson stepping on up to the plate. 5 home runs, 7 extra base hits on the year for him. And he looks at runners at second and third here, again with nobody down. Already one run coming on home. That one sails a bit high, 1-0. And Schweisau on the mound, looking to try and get to 20 strikeouts here. Would love to connect on one here, but this is one of the toughest hitters in this Wolves lineup. That one too low and away, ball 2. And honestly, if you're Des Moines Roosevelt right now, you got to play it. You got to try and play a little bit, play the fence a little bit in the end. You want to be aggressive here, but not too aggressive. This is a Waukee Northwest team that's capable of winning those 1-run, 2-run outings here. They can win by not putting up a whole lot. That one gets sent high, and that's playable in foul territory, and nicely done by Cox as he has to go deep into foul territory to grab that one, and they get a much-needed out number 1 here as Tanner Jackson set down and Reed Miller stepping on up to the plate.
Up now, number 30, Reed Miller.
So first big out of the inning of the game here for Schweisau. And the next pitch, he goes too far inside and ends up plunking Miller. And Miller onto the base pass officially loads it up. Wolves on every single base here with just one down.
For Caden Kitzman.
Caden Kitzman stepping on up to the plate. Across game 1, he ended up 1 for 3 with a single in the very first inning. Would love to add on to his mark here and get a second hit here in the Brent Prange Classic. So already a 1-0 ball game here in favor of the Wolves. Here's the pitch. And that one goes up high and he goes with it but can't connect. 0-1. So runners on first, second, and third. Miller stands on first, Fitzpatrick second, and we have Jones standing on third. The 0-1, that gets behind him, and Jones is heading off for the plate. He will not have a throw to connect, and there is the second run of the game here for Waukee Northwest. A quick 2-0 advantage here. And with that, the rest of the runners move on up. And we have more in scoring position now for the Wolves, as they have already had a strong start to this one here. Rough Riders entered today's game 14-14 overall, 8-4 inside the Alliance Conference South Division. Again, they are 1-1 against the Wolves here all time, in which they split a doubleheader back in 2022. And from the 1-2 delivery, here is the windup. That one too far outside, evens it up now at 2 apiece. On deck is Grant McCummins, who we did not see in game 1. He's usually a guy that we have seen typically come in game 2, or at least start game 1. Don't see him across both games, but we get the chance to see him here in game 2. That one sliced out of play, foul, and we remain once more at 2-2. So game 3 of the 4-game slate. Again, Assumption comes back to play the Rough Riders in the nightcap here. The day started with the Wolves taking on the Blue Jays of Bondurant Farrar, winning that one 2-0. And then Assumption won game 2, 6-5 over the Blue Jays. A chance to grab an out there, nice deep in the hole from Cost as he ends up picking up the out. But in the meantime, it's a run crossing the board here for the Wolves. It's now a 3-0 advantage here for Northwest.
Not for the Wolves.
And now with 2 down, Grant McCummins now back up to the plate here. He gets the chance, actually, in his first time here in game 2 of the Prange Classic. And as Schweisau looks, he'll fire and too far outside. Definitely got to be cautious of this Waukee Northwest lineup. They had the capability of really hurting you with a lot of doubles and if not triples. But also, you really got to try and attack him. This is a solid defensive core here for the Rough Riders. As that one dialed in for the strike. So in the end, I think the message has to be to Schweisau, just go out there and let your defense help you out. You know, make this team earn it. Don't give them those free passes for sure. So the 1-1 count and the pitch, that one too far outside, and it's very clear they don't want to give him too much to hit, trying to hit that outside corner. But right now it's put them in quite a bit of a jam, already down 3-0 here in the top of the first. That one jammed them just a bit here. We break it even at 2-2. Again, make sure you hit us up with scores all across the slate here. Where are you finding us from, and what other games are you noticing? And here's the pitch. That one swung on, and that is a lot of excitement off the mound. Schweisau will head back with his first strikeout as 7 batters deep go the Wolves, and they poke across 3 runs, and they lead this one by that very mark. And we'll get the chance to get looking at the Rough Riders, who will start it off with Kelly, Cox, and Cost when we return right here on the IA Baseball Network.
RDA Financial Network is a proud sponsor of IABaseball.com. RDA supports the sport of baseball in the state of Iowa. We believe the game of baseball promotes many values such as hard work, determination, and teamwork, values that matter on and off the baseball field, and values that we demonstrate to our clients every day in our offices across the country. RDA provides financial planning and wealth management services to our clients in 6 communities in the state of Iowa. RDA Financial Network is an SEC-registered investment advisory firm. RDA advisors may offer securities through United Planners Financial Services, a member of FINRA and SIPC. United Planners is not affiliated with RDA Financial Network nor IABaseball.com. Please visit RDAFN.com to find an RDA advisor near you.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, into the broadcast here as we get rocking and set for the bottom half of inning number 2. Brought to you by the Log Cabin Greek Steakhouse in Galena, Illinois. Got to check them out, and all they're about great dining atmosphere, great food. Check them out at the Log Cabin online today. Already a 3-0 advantage here for the Waukee Northwest Wolves, and they're going to start off on the mound here.
First is number 1, Lucas Kelly.
As we look at this lineup here for the Waukee Northwest Wolves, Cade Madden, the senior, on the mound, 1-0 with his record through just a limited time of 7 innings pitched on the year so far. Teams hitting just .231 against him. Although he does sport a 1.00 ERA, does have 6 strikeouts, again, in limited action here in the 2025 season. So after the Wolves offensively sported 3 runs on 2 hits and 2 left on, it's time now for the Rough Riders to get their chance at it. And they start off with Lucas Kelly up at the plate. And he sends that one out. Kelly on the season has 20 hits under his belt, 11 runs driven in across 24 total bases. Does have 12 walks on the season as well. And the 1-1 delivery up high, swings through it. That'll be a 1-2 count now. Again, from third to first, Miller, Jones, Rurik, and Kitzman make up the infield here for the Wolves. Madden on the mound, Gilmore behind the plate. And the outfield from left to right is Jackson, Eastman, and McComas. So a 2-2 count after the check swing keeps him there. Leadoff man for Roosevelt, looking to try and get on. That one sent right back. So a little hit by the fence a little bit there, and we'll adjust that camera for sure, but brought to you by the Log Cabin Greek Steakhouse in Galena, Illinois, helping to bring us our multiple camera views here. And that one will take it. Strike number 3 and strikeout number 1 here for Madden on the day. Sets him down to now bring up Luther Cox to the plate.
Number 22, first baseman Luther Cox.
Cox on the year, the leading total base earner for this squad. 39 total bases across a .370 average. Takes strike 1, but has 30 hits on the year. 7 have gone for extra bases. Has driven in 17 on the season. The 0-1 count. Check swing, but checked foul. 0-2. Again, Davenport Assumption will be back here after this game to take on the Rough Riders. Again, another matchup you just don't see very often. And one thing that I really enjoy about the Brett Prange Classic is you can get teams from 1A battling 4A, and in the end, it's always a tough battle there. Counted strike number 3. Heck of a pitching performance already.
Now for Roosevelt, number 5.
Again, Madden hadn't had too much experience up to this point. Just 7 innings, 6 strikeouts, but has already added 2 here in the first 2 batters. And Kingston Coast now back up. His first time here in this one. Working on a heck of a season for him, batting .360. 28 total bases, has driven in 22. He's a leader on this squad in RBIs. He's done so all across 18 hits on the season, 8 of which have been for extras. There you go on the 1 delivery, the pitch. That one wisely lays off. We're even at 1. Again, make sure to catch up our broadcast from Tall Anderson Field tomorrow. We will be at beautiful Tall Anderson Field for a battle in Omaha. As that one is shot left side, Jones has to pick it up and on the run, fire, and gets him a heck of a play for out number 3. Nice play as he had to range third base side, but in the end, makes it worth it and gets a strong throw over there to first as the Rough Riders go down 1, 2, and 3.
The score is 3-0.
So we remain a 3-0 ball game here. It's time now for the Wolves to get back at it with 8, 9, and 1 when we come back right here on the IA Baseball Network.
RDA Financial Network.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Brown here with IA Baseball. I'm here at the PBR Spring League, but man, there's a whole lot of good that I want to talk to you about outside of what's happening on the fields, and that includes the batting donut. That's right here. The batting donut, I would urge anybody to check out. It is a really cool way to help improve your confidence and boost your energy, boost your endurance, all by slipping this onto your bat. That's it. And hey, look at that. You got sprinkles, you got everything. It's the whole package. And by the way, they come in pink as well. They come in 9 and 16 ounce versions. So go ahead and check that out as soon as you get the chance. A great way to help boost your swing and boost the confidence of your swing as well. So again, if you get the chance, hey, check out the Batting Donut and check them out at the Batting Donut online or hit them up at sweetenorswing.com. And while you're there, let them know that IA Baseball sent you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, into the broadcast. Andrew Brown here with you as we get rocking. Inning number 2 kicks off here with Cam Rourke starting things off from the 8-hole. And he will look at ball 1 to start his first at-bat here in the second game for the Wolves here in the Brett Prange Classic. Rourke across game 1, 0 for 2, sends that one right side, and that's out of here. Plates that one out, and not enough real estate to hold that one in the ballpark. It is now a 4-0 advantage early here as Rourke blasts one on out of here. And for the senior, that marks his first home run of the season, happening right here in the Brent Prange Classic. And now James Gilmore getting the chance to follow that up here. After one swing of the bat, puts another run on the board here. Already a fast start for the Wolves here in this gun. And that one's laced right up the middle. And that's another hit here for the Wolves. And they put a runner on first here with nobody down. And that will bring up Andrew Eastman to the plate. He walked and later came around to score his first time up. Schweisau trying to get already out of a little bit of the trouble here. He's already given up one run here in the second inning. Looks like Tyler Honkamp, I believe, is doing the pitch running duties. And that one goes too far inside, and Eastman will grace first base once again, but not in the way he probably wanted to. Hit by pitch. Now puts runners on first and second here with nobody down. And we're starting to see things already here for the Wolves.
Northwest is number 1, Chase Jones.
And Jones, last time up, he singled and later came around to score as well. He would look at like another hit here would be very nice. The corners are in here for the Rough Riders. You can see Aaron's kind of situated a little differently, but that one gets behind the catcher. Glosson unable to catch up with that one, and now the runners move on up second and third, and still nobody down here. And the Wolves, this is a team that's found a variety of ways to win. In the end, they capture yet another hot start here. As we have a quick conversation on the mound. Again, the Rough Riders led by Randy Wee as a head coach. And Jeremy Heinen doing the duties here for the Northwest Wolves. And again, last year it was the Wolves to go all the way to the state tournament in a heck of a battle in the state tournament opener for 4A. And unfortunately, they end up falling in that one. And again, it was a heck of a season for them, as we've already mentioned. Again, the Wolves went 26-15 in the 2024 campaign, marking their 4th straight 20-plus win season. And this is a program that hasn't been around all too long. And they are once again continuing to vie for a state tournament trip. They are currently first in the CIML standings, 12-6 in conference. They are now 22-7 overall here throughout this 2025 season. That bunt attempt goes sour here, and we go 1-1 with the count. Once again, to Chase Jones out of the number 2 hole. We got to see Jones, who really I think is one of the better and most underrated shortstops that you will see across 4A. He has had a lot of good defensive plays this season, and honestly, as Gold Glove type caliber, that's up there to Costin. Cox botches that. He had it drifting second base side, and it just got away from him. And as such, the error will now make it a 5-0 advantage here for the Wolves. So runners are on the corners here, still nobody down. So the error will help Jones to plate 1 run. Drew Fitzpatrick now up. He struck an RBI double in the first inning. That one too low. Jones taken off to second. He will get there without a throw. And now runners at second and third here for the Wolves. 2-1 is the count. Have a little bit of a time called here. Again, from Jim Gebhardt Field, the backdrop for our battle here. Sadell, I got to give a shout out to the Eagles, earning their first number 1 seed in quite some time. They get the chance to host, and again, I would love to see a lot of playoff baseball done right here in Sadell, but nonetheless, a heck of a season here for them. Right now we stand on the field, Roosevelt against Northwest, a 3-1 count here. As Fitzpatrick sends that one high to left field. Malloy camping out under it near the line, and that will be not far enough to get the runner on home. As that will keep him right there, and in the end, that will be a loud and much needed out number 1. As Fitzpatrick flies out.
Number 3, Tanner Jackson.
And now Tanner Jackson stepping on up. He is a pop-out victim his first time up, but has a great opportunity in front of him. Already 1 run added on, now 2 total in the inning. It's a 5-0 advantage here over the Rough Riders, and he gets a chance to just most likely swing away here. The pitch. And that one he couldn't quite catch up to. 0-1 the count. You know, I think if you're Schweisau at this point, really lean into the aggressiveness a little bit. And it seems that sometimes they're getting out ahead of it, but for the most part, they're finding barrels. So maybe try and lay off a little bit more off speed in the end. Because right now it seems like that fastball they're kind of catching up to just a little bit here. You know, in the end, it could be completely wrong, but that does seem like where there's been a little bit, if any, chink in their armor is by kind of letting off and pulling the string a little bit. The 1-1 count, that one is hit left field. That one's going. It's drifting, and that one gets away from Malloy out there in left field. That plate's 1, and coming around home, it looks to plate 2. The throw will not be in time as Jones slides on in. And just like that, we add a few more to the mix. It's now 7-0 in favor of the Wolves, and this one is getting out of hand real early. So Tanner Jackson adds to the hit parade. A 2 RBI double will now bring up Reed Miller to the plate. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. 4 runs have already crossed here in the top half of the second. Again, it's 15 after 3. You have to win. You have to have a 10-run lead after 5 in order for the game to be cut early. And right now, it's looking like we're on that path potentially. The 1-0, that sails a bit high. We go 2-0. Again, make sure to get out and get your Brent Prange Classic t-shirts, just $20, and a great way to help a great cause. And again, in honorance of a phenomenal umpire in Brent Prange who did everything he could, multiple sports. He was a great umpire, referee, and beyond. That one sent, and a nice play out there at second as Renson will capture out number 2. And a much-needed out number 2 as we get a runner on third. And Caden Kitzman stepping up to the plate. Kitzman representing the 8th batter of the inning here. Would mark now 2 straight innings in which the Wolves have gone 8 batters deep at least. The empty count, not in there. Excuse me, in there, 0-1. Up next, Grant McCummins on the on-deck circle. That one is hit high, and that's drifting towards, and it will go out of play. 0-2 now the count. Again, 3 runs in the top half of the first, 4 so far in the top half of the second have given us that 7-run advantage here for the Wolves, who have been as on fire here across the last couple weeks, and especially here today. The 0-2 delivery. That's a liner out there, left side, and I'll take that back just a bit. That is called foul. That was laced on a rope, but on the wrong side of the chalk line, we remain 0-2 with the count, and we still have 2 down. Again, Waukee Northwest already took game 1 against Bondurant Farrar earlier. 2 runs in the top half of that first inning in that game, and that's all they needed as Kitzman was on the mound and rode it for a 10 strikeout performance all the way into the win. Again, 2-0 over Bondurant Farrar, and now they sit here with a 7-0 advantage over Des Moines Roosevelt. That one gets hit high into mid-center field, and camped out under it will be Kelly, and he will record out number 3. But not before 4 runs cross the plate here, and a 7-0 advantage for the Wolves as they will take that one into the next inning. For right now, we head into the bottom half of the 7th. Waukee Northwest up 7-0. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Brown here with IA Baseball. I'm here at the PBR Spring League, but man, there's a whole lot of good that I want to talk to you about outside of what's happening on the fields, and that includes the batting donut. That's right here. The batting donut, I would urge anybody to check out. It is a really cool way to help improve your confidence and boost your energy, boost your endurance, all by slipping this onto your bat. That's it. And hey, look at that. You got sprinkles, you got everything. It's the whole package. And by the way, they come in pink as well. They come in 9 and 16 ounce versions. So go ahead and check that out as soon as you get the chance. A great way to help boost your swing and boost the confidence of your swing as well. So again, if you get the chance, hey, check out the Batting Donut and check them out at the Batting Donut online, or hit them up at sweetenorswing.com. And while you're there, let them know that IA Baseball sent you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, inside the broadcast. Andrew Brown once again here, ready and reeling as we go into the bottom half of inning number 2. Again, this broadcast brought to you by the Log Cabin Greek Steakhouse in Galena, Illinois. Check them out today at Log Cabin Online. Again, it was 3 hits to push across 4 runs, 2 runners left on base in that last half inning. And as we stand now for the Wolves, a 7-0 advantage. Jonah Calderon steps up in the first pitch he sees. He sends out to center field. Eastman with 1 pitch will camp out under it for the flyout in out number 1. Bringing up at Aiden Venz to the plate. Aiden Venz on the season here as we look at his mark. Again, a pretty solid year for him, really this entire team, which again has gone 14 wins. That one laced into left field and nicely done here on a bloop single. Venz will get the first hit of the ball game here for the Rough Riders. And up
Now
next,
up
Joey
number
Aarons to the
12,
plate.
Joey Aarons.
Aarons so far on the season, 17 hits, 19 total bases, batting .354 on the season with 6 runs driven in. He takes a look at strike one. And again, Venz officially picks up his 27th hit of the season, standing on first. And a 1-1 count here to Aarons in his first at-bat here of the Prange Classic 2025 edition. Here's a look to fire, and that one right back up the middle, hop over the hill, and that ends up poking its way into the outfield grass. A hard play regardless. As again, you had Jones going that way, the same way. Again, with Rorik coming to second, Jones across there, and in the end had to try and make a play behind his back. Could not do that. In the end, that would have been tough for anybody. In the end, we now have back-to-back runners onto the base pass with back-to-back singles, and some action and life being breathed into this Roosevelt offense here. Rylan Malloy standing on up to the plate. Takes a look at strike one. Malloy on the year, not a ton of action here. Has a 143 average, 2 total bases here through 14 at-bats on the season. Tries to lay down a bunt and does successfully. One play to first, but it will not be in time. Heck of an effort out of him, and you can see the excitement there. He ends up scratching across a single to load the bases full here for the Rough Riders. So a bunt single means back-to-back-to-back singles for the Rough Riders, and the first chance that they've had to get a real scoring opportunity here as Miles Lorenzen stepping on up to the plate. And again, all of this was just one down. That one sent back from whence it came. And again, kind of shaking it off a little bit there as we take a brief pause. Again, 0-1 the count here. Game 3, the Brent Prange Classic. It is a bases-loaded situation here in the bottom half of inning number 2. Started with a Calderon fly-out, and then singles by Venz, Aarons, and Malloy have now put runners on every single base. And Lorenzen with a chance to play a little bit hero here. The pitch he sees, that one's tailing in there. A nice get-me-over strike here. And we go quickly 0-2. Already a 7-0 advantage here, but a chance here to try and cut into that lead. Bases are juiced for Roosevelt. That pitch, he decides not to swing. Are they going to get him? And they do. And make that strikeout number 3 for Madden on the day. And it was a big one at that, as we now have 2 down.
Up now for the Rough Riders is number 2, Karsten Clausen.
And now Karsten Clausen up to the plate. His first time here in this one. A chance to add on to his season here in 2025. The sophomore batting .173 on the year, 9 total bases, has 52 at-bats on the season, and 5 runs driven in. That one is sent high into a little bit of no man's land, but the speed from Eastman will come on, and he'll glove that one for out number 3. So tight roping out of danger, here goes the Wolves. Their 7-0 lead remains intact as we head into another inning here. And when we come back, 7, 8, and 9 here for the Wolves offensively right after this. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Brown here with IA Baseball. I'm here at the PBR Spring League, but man, there's a whole lot of good that I want to talk to you about outside of what's happening on the fields. and that includes the batting donut. That's right here. The batting donut, I would urge anybody to check out. It is a really cool way to help improve your confidence and boost your energy, boost your endurance, all by slipping this onto your bat. That's it. And hey, look at that. You got sprinkles, you got everything. It's the whole package. And by the way, they come in pink as well. They come in 9 and 16 ounce versions. So go ahead and check that out as soon as you get the chance. A great way to help boost your swing and boost the confidence of your swing as well. So again, if you get the chance, hey, check out the Batting Donut and check them out at the Batting Donut online, or hit them up at sweetenyourswing.com. And while you're there, let them know that iBaseball sent you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Top half of inning number 3 starts out with McComas with a shot high, and lost the ball. In the end, Benz could not find it, lost it in the sun, and McComas is granted extra life here as that one falls harmlessly into the grass, and he ends up on second.
That was number 20.
Another hit onto the ranks here for the Wolves as their luck continues on with what's already been an impressive showing. So putting a runner on second here, Cam Rorick back up to the plate. He sent one over the right field fence, over the H in Jim Gebhardt Field last time up. Would love to connect on a solid one here. Schweissau still on the mound here for the Rough Riders. The look, he'll fire. Slider too far outside, ball 1. Again, it was 3 runs in the first for the Wolves, 4 in the second. And now they're going to look to try and continue what has been a 7-run unanswered streak. And that came despite bases loaded in the bottom of the second here for the Rough Riders. Here's the pitch. That one tried to paint the outside corner. Could not quite catch it here. We go 2-0 with the count. And again, a chance to remind you, catch up on our High and Tight program every single Tuesday. Your chance to be able to catch up on some highlights, storylines from around the high school baseball world, as well as our Performance of the Week winner and some amazing videos that are been sent by you that we have captured all across the slate. So a lot of fun in the process here. Right now, a 3-0 count to the number 8 hole man and Cam Rorick. A nice get me over 2-seamer, keeps it in there and keeps the at-bat going, 3-1. Schweissau has had a little bit of a rough patch here so far. All the hits, all 5 hits have been earned hits. All 7 runs have been earned. That one too high, up and in. Some chin music puts him on to the base pass here. So a double and a walk. And now with 2 down, James Gilmore stepping on up to the plate. The 9-hole man singled in his first plate appearance back in the second. You know, in talking with Coach Heinen, this squad is just gritty, finds ways to win, but really never satisfied. I saw them, again, in one game against North Polk, put 5 runs up in the second inning, didn't score the rest of the way, but the bullpen, the pitching, helped get them and keep North Polk off of the scoreboard in that particular game. And in the first game, they jumped out, and the offense really stole the show in game 1. So ultimately, this team is very balanced. You know, I know last year they made the state tournament, but this could perhaps be the most balanced team that Coach Heinen has had over his tenure here with the Wolves. That one sails a bit too outside, and I don't say that loosely. I mean, we've seen these teams, again, already 2 trips to the state tournament, and that was with some dominant pitching here across their first year in existence when they made the state tournament. That one sent high, but playable out there in left center field. There will be a throw, and a heck of a throw at that here from Kaloy in center. In the end, no runners taken off anywhere. We remain at first and second here with 1 down.
Up now, number 27, Andrew Eastman.
And Eastman join up. He has walked and been hit by pitch in 2 trips. So he has graced the base pass and scored. And takes a look at strike 1 here. Again, 20 strikeouts on the year for Schweisau on the mound here for the Rough Riders. Looking to try and add yet another one, make it 21. He looks off second, and he'll fire home. That one gets sent high, and that one will be playable just in the outfield and could not connect onto it. Lorenzen thought he had a beat on it. In the end, that one falls. And we get more Wolves onto the base pass there.
Number 1, Chase Jones.
Make it a full loaded situation here for the Wolves. As that one falls, and Eastman picks up his first hit of the ball game. So again, thanks again for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, as we keep rocking and rolling here. And coming out now, up next here is Chase Jones, who is 1 for 2. He reached on an error, but a run crossed the plate in second inning under his at bat. He also singled and scored back in inning number 1. So with 1 down, bases loaded, 0-1 the count. And again, another bases juiced situation here for the Wolves at Waukee Northwest. The corners are in defensively here for the Rough Riders. That one's sailing too far out of the zone. Again, 8 batters have come up to the plate in each of the first 2 innings here for the Wolves. They have made it efficient. They have made it a very impactful first 2 innings offensively. That one going too far inside. The ball got away from him there, and you know what? Find a way to earn a run. And through that at-bat, Chase Jones puts a runner back at the plate, and it's now an 8-0 ball game here for the Wolves.
Up now for Waukee is number 13, Drew Fitzpatrick.
So an unusual way to drive in a run here as Chase Jones adds another run driven in under his belt. And it brings up Drew Fitzpatrick to the plate. 1 for 2 with an RBI double back in the first. Bases are still loaded. And a hefty swing at that comes empty. And we go 0-1 the count. Davenport Assumption has shown up here. They will be in the very next game coming on up. The nightcap, if you will. Tried to get the outside edge, could not. 1-1 the count. Both of these teams here, again, having faced off just twice against each other in the past, and both teams with 1 win. Although right now, a little bit imbalanced here as the Wolves are dominating this game 8-0. And normally we're used to seeing a lot more out of the Roosevelt Rough Riders. We saw it last year as we covered them in the Prange Classic as well as the Omaha Quadrangular at Tall Anderson Field. The 2-1, that one's 2 more in the dirt, 3-1. And the last thing that Schweisau wants right now is to end up putting yet another run onto the board via the walk. So with the 3-1 count here, trying to avoid another run crossing the dish. Here's the pitch. That one sails too far outside, and a walk will now bring a run home. That has been back-to-back RBIs, and it is now a 9-0 advantage here for Waukee Northwest as they continue to pile it on. And Coach Wee, I think at this point has no choice but to go and try with a different name here. More than likely, we will have a new pitcher here, and it's looking like that will be the case. Who it will be, we don't know quite yet. But in the end, these are tough because it's a weekend tournament, but you still have to play for the week ahead and what's coming up in the postseason. With the pitch count rules the way they are, you certainly don't want to overexert somebody. You certainly don't want to take them too far of the element, but in the end, I guess I might stand. Do I stand corrected here? And I do. In the end, Schweisau will still remain in the game, and that's probably where they're looking at. I'm thinking that Wee doesn't want to use too many other arms up at this point, especially with this game where it is right now. That is just my best guess here. But in the end, we get Tanner Jackson stepping on up, who is 1 for 2, a 2-run double for him back in the second. And you can only imagine what he's capable of here with runners on the corners. Runners on every base, swings through that one, strike one. Again, you got him out early in his first plate appearance by kind of pulling that string and going a little light on the velocity here. Could we see that happen here? It already start off 0-1. That one, though, gets taken for a ride left side. That'll find its way foul, however, 0-2. A nice, solid contact, but again, got out in front of that. Jackson is one of those guys that is not afraid of the heat. He is very capable of hitting 90 plus. He has shown that time and time again. It's one of those where when you lighten off, pull that string just a bit, maybe you can have a chance. The 0-2 delivery, that one's too far outside, doesn't chase there. And the veteran now looks at a 1-2 count with one down. Again, the Rough Riders will play Davenport Assumption following this game. And right now, it's all Wolves to this point. That one gets laced out there. That'll find its way on a one-hop in the grass in center field. And we'll play more station-to-station baseball as Jackson picks up his third RBI of the game. And with that, it is officially a 10-0 advantage here for the Wolves as we continue on with the top half of inning number 3. And we'll look to see, will we have a pitching change here now? Again, we'll end up seeing, again, pitch count rules being what they are, could impact not only who we see here today, but of course what's going on and who ends up on the mound here following this. But indeed, we will have a new pitcher to give you when we come back. It is all Wolves to this point, 10-0. We'll be back. Back, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jude Lippincott doing the duties on the mound here for the Rough Riders. Lippincott is up and trying to keep this game where it is right now as we take a look at the stats here. Looks to be By our accounts here and by Bound, his second time starting in varsity action here. He is effectively 1-0 on the season, 3 innings under his belt. He's been efficient, though. 6 strikeouts across those 3 innings. He's allowed just 1 earned run and 2 hits in that time period. So the sophomore in Jude Lippincott, effectively, I should say, in his 3rd appearance of the season, is effectively, again, 1-0, 3 innings, 6 strikeouts. And to recap the scoring train that has happened here for the Wolves, it has been 3 runs in the first, 4 in the second, and so far 3 here in inning number 3. And they have just been all over Roosevelt pitching here. And of course, Weissau exits. He will most likely get the loss at 1-4 on the season. He did pick up strikeout number 20 on the season. However, he will be on the docket for potentially a 4th loss if the Wolves don't somehow find a way to come back, or the Rough Riders don't find a way to come back and win this one, or at least tie it, I should say. So again, as we continue on, Reed Miller up at the plate, hit by pitch and ground out in 2 trips. The infield playing just a bit in, as that one is chopped out there to second and mishandled there at second by Lorenzen, and that will plate run. And now we're getting one to come on home, and we will effectively score 2 more for the Wolves, and it is now a 12-0 ball game. And now we have runners on the corners here for the Wolves, and again, this is something where it could get out of hand. Again, it's 15-run lead after 3, I believe, and if you're 4, so you have to go 4 innings and have that 15-run lead, if not 10 after 5. So we'll see how this ends up here. And again, now it's Kitzman up at the plate. Kitzman has gone 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly out. He represents batter number 9 in the inning. The 1-0 turns 1-1 now. And again, a lot of this has happened with 1 out. Again, we started with a Grant McComas double, and then Gilmore out of the 9-hole flew out. But since then, it has not been nothing but single, hit by pitch, walk, RBI single, and of course, we now have runners on the corners here. Again, Jude Lippincott is up here in what would be his 4th appearance, 4th game played of the 2025 season there. That one is left right side, coming on with the catch, and we will get a play here at the plate, but the throw offline, and we'll now have yet another run crossing the plate, make it 13-0 Waukee Northwest. And so with that, we have now effectively batted all across the order here. As for the 2nd time in this inning, Grant McComas back up. He doubled in his first trip here in the 3rd. And so now McComas with a 1-0 count, with a runner on first and a chance to try and add more. Again, you would need to get past the 4th inning, but they need 2 more runs to potentially end this a little early here. 3 in the first, 4 in the second, now 6 here in the 3rd. And it's just trying to be damage control for Lippincott right now. His team down by a big mark, 13-0 here, and the pitch. Sails outside, squirts away from Clausen there, but in the end, no runner taken off here. We sit with a 2-1 count. And this third inning has seen the lineup bat through once fully here as McComas back up for the second time. He's effectively 1 for 2 with a double. And keeping him honest over there at first. Again, Miller stands at first. And again, we have gone through the lineup here. McComas again started the inning and doubled. He swings through that one, bringing it to a 2-2 count. So two balls, 2 strikes. We have 2 down and 1 on. And that one's sent back, a chopper that keeps the at-bat alive anyway. Again, following this game will be a battle between the Knights of Davenport Assumption and these Rough Riders here on the field. The 2-2 delivery, and he got him swinging there, and the inning is over, but not before the lineup has gone through at least twice here, and 6 runs has crossed the plate for the Wolves. They now are in complete control of this one, 13-0, as we now head into the bottom half of the third. And when we do, the top of the lineup, Kelly, Cox, and Cost coming on up here for the Rough Riders right after this, right here on the IA Baseball Network.
Recap top of the
RDA Financial Network is a proud sponsor of IABaseball.com. RDA supports the sport of baseball in the state of Iowa. We believe the game of baseball promotes many values such as hard work, determination, and teamwork, values that matter on and off the baseball field, and values that we demonstrate to our clients every day in our offices across the country. RDA provides financial planning and wealth management services to our clients in 6 communities in the state of Iowa. RDA Financial Network is an SEC-registered investment advisory firm. RDA advisors may offer securities through United Planners Financial Services, a member of FINRA and SIPC. United Planners is not affiliated with RDA Financial Network nor IABaseball.com. Please visit RDAFN.com to find an RDA advisor near you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in to the broadcast here. Appreciate as we continue to rock on. And hey, if got any more shout-outs here, let us know. Appreciate you coming on and tuning in with us. It's a 13-0 advantage here for the Waukee Northwest Wolves. They are commanding fashion out front. They have 13 runs off 8 hits and 5 runners left onto the base paths here. Meanwhile, trying to make sure this game doesn't end early, Lucas Kelly starting things off here. And he'll take a look at ball 1 to begin his second at bat. Here's the pitch, and that one gets sent out of play. Strike 1.
Hey, draw.
And these two teams battling just twice in the current past. Each team with 1 win in the series, all knotted up at 1. But right now it's looking like the Wolves, who again I would argue have the most balanced team to this point, would be the team that look like they're going to go ahead and take the series edge here. That one's fouled back, and we keep it at 1-2. So we had 3 runs in the first, 4 in the second, 6 in the third. That has given us 13 runs for the Wolves. Meanwhile, still looking to get on the scoreboard here for the Rough Riders. That one on a chop out there to first. The pickup by Kitzman, and he'll toss it to the pitcher covering as Madden will effectively get out number 1 as Kelly is set down for the second time. So now we continue on with Luther Cox, who also was a strikeout victim his first time up. trying to get rolling here. This has been a game that has been kind of tough. If you're a Roosevelt fan, they have had a tough time here. Madden has been pretty solid on the mound as he gets strike one there. In the end, hasn't had a ton of strikeouts, but we're only going into the third inning here in the bottom half, although he does have 3 putouts right now. He has not given up a whole lot. He has given up 3 hits, but it was kind of a bend but not break inning in the bottom half of the second. So with a 1-1 count here, Madden with the toss, and that one tried to hit it low and away, goes too far, 2-1. Again, as we look at the road ahead here for the Northwest Wolves, after this game here, they will take on Urbandale on the 30th to wrap up June, as that one gets hit up high, and that will be playable near the line, and nicely done by McComas as he will capture a quick out number 2. That will bring up Kingston Cost to the plate. 0 for 1 for his day so far at the Prange Classic. But again, the road ahead for the Wolves. They will take to the road on the 30th and wrap up the month of June in a doubleheader against Urbandale. Then they'll follow that up with a battle on the 2nd against Ankeny and a battle against Johnston on the 3rd, and a rematch of the state tournament outing last season here for Waukee Northwest. For the Roosevelt Rough Riders here in their next outings here, their schedule, again, doesn't necessarily get any easier here with the 1-0 count. And that one too far outside, make it 2-0. Following their time here, they'll take a battle and wrap up the month of June against Des Moines East. And then they'll also battle Norwalk and Des Moines North, all at home across the 1st and 2nd of July. And then they'll take a road trip against Mason City on the 7th. And again, with 2 down, we have a full 3-0 count. Kingston Cost not given a whole lot of wiggle room. He'll chop that one left side, but foul for his first strike of the at-bat. Again, 3-1 here. Cost was formerly a Des Moines East product, and has since moved allegiances to the Rough Riders. And that one catches the outer edge, and now we bring it full at 3-2. And that one, a hard hit ball out there to third. The pickup by Miller, across the diamond he goes, and will nab the speedy Cost at all costs. And he ends up getting out number 3. So the second 3 and out here for the Rough Riders give them no help here as they go down 1, 2, and 3. And now we will head on in to a whole new inning. It's the 4th. And when we come back, it will be the chance for the Wolves to try and add even more onto the docket with 8, 9, and 1 when we return right here on the IA Baseball Network.
RDA Financial.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, Sportsmanship starts with us.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Austin Van Horn doing the pitch hitting duties here for Rourke. Rourke ended his time 1 for 1 with a home run RBI and a walk. And Van Horn gets his chance to step on up and add to that mark here. As we continue on with a whole brand new inning, top half of the fourth we go. Another 1-2-3 inning defensively for the Wolves, and they have a chance to potentially end this here. Again, we have to get 4 innings, and then a 15-run lead will end it. Meanwhile, 10 after 5. That one gets shot on a looper out there to second. A quick pick, and has to get it off quick, and does so. Heck of a play there. Lorenzen kind of bobbled it just enough, but got it off just quick enough as they squeaked across and out there. A nice play as Van Horn is set down on the 4-3 putout. That'll bring up to the plate here, and James Gilmore, who is 1 for 2, struck a single back in inning number 2. The next pitch, that one, a nice breaker. The slider finds its way in there for the strike. And again, we have Assumption battling the Rough Riders in game number 4 here from Sadell High School. Can't believe we've already made it through most of 3 games up to this point. But you can catch all kinds of games all across the slate here, not just here, but we also have games at Johnston, Ankeny Centennial, and North Polk. With tomorrow, you're adding Dallas Center Grimes and a second location, grass field at North Polk. So the 1-2, and again, this has been a game that's all Waukee Northwest up to this point as they look to go 2-0 here in the Prange Classic. That one is laced out to left field, but an atom ball will be caught by Malloy as he will record out number 2. More or less just took him a couple steps one way or the other, but he ends up capturing out number 2, and now we continue on with a new batter. Tyler Honkamp gets this chance as he comes in and replaces Andrew Eastman. And of course, don't forget, once again, you have our High and Tight program to get your nominations in. We'll go ahead on Saturday and compile all the nominations. Sunday's your time to vote, as that 0-1 brings it even 1-1. So again, your chance, a lot of great performances, and that could include from the Sadell site in which we're broadcasting here. Of course, all across the Prange Classic as well. And don't forget to check out what we got on social media. Plenty of chances, a lot of great highlights, and again, a lot of cool things. And of course, also, we have even more news here as Caleb Lefevre out of Sioux City Heelan, has committed to Coach Heller and the University of Iowa. That has been a recent announcement here. And the next pitch, that one has them swinging and has to complete the play, but the strikeout is there, and they get out number 3. So we continue on now. It's the bottom half of the inning, the first scoreless one defensively here for the Rough Riders. They get a chance to try and etch their way back into it when we return right here on the IA Baseball Network.
RDA Financial Network is a proud sponsor of IABaseball.com. RDA supports the sport of baseball in the state of Iowa. We believe the game of baseball promotes many values such as hard work, determination, and teamwork, values that matter on and off the baseball field, and values that we demonstrate to our clients every day in our offices across the country. RDA provides financial planning and wealth management services to our clients in 6 communities in the state of Iowa. RDA Financial Network is an SEC-registered investment advisory firm. RDA advisors may offer securities through United Planners Financial Services, a member of FINRA and SIPC. United Planners is not affiliated with RDA Financial Network nor iabaseball.com. Please visit rdafn.com to find an RDA advisor near you.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we hit the bottom of the 4th inning. And as we do so, Waukee Northwest still with 13 runs off 8 hits, 5 runners left on to the base pass. And now Jonah Calderon stepping on up to the plate. He flew out to center with a first pitch, his first time up. Looking to try and get something rolling, a rally going here against Madden on the mound. Takes strike 1. And swings through that one there. We get going with 2 strikes now. The 0-2 count here. Madden once again on the mound has been dealing here, helping to make this a very lopsided game. As that one shot left side, a deep in the hole pick here by Miller. Across the diamond throw, gets away. And now Calderon will find his way to second base. A heck of a start here for Calderon and the Roosevelt Rough Riders. That has been their 4th hit of the ball game here, as Calderon legs a single into a double on the wild throw. And in the end, the runner standing on second as we now bring up Aiden Venz to the plate. Venz, last time up, started a 3-hit train there. He is officially 1 for 1 on the day. Nobody out, a chance to get something going here. They had bases loaded in the second. Would love to try and get something close to that here. That one's sailing too high. We go 1-0. So from the Brent Prange Classic, we're here day 1 of the 2-day affair across multiple sites. A very prestigious event here, arguably one of the best tournaments that we have across the high school baseball scene here in Iowa. One and one is the count. That one sent high, and that is out of play. Here we go, 1-2. Next pitch, that one sent a sharp one to Miller. He'll look off second, and a good throw across the diamond. You can tell he's got the arm. He secures out number 1 and keeps the runner at second. So now Joey Aaron stepping on up to the plate. And with one down here, a chance to still keep moving the runner, get something rolling. Now the look from Madden, the fire. Tries a good swing at that one, but couldn't quite connect, 0-1. Again, Sioux City Heelan's Caleb Lefevre is following, again, second straight year in which a Heelan Crusading pitcher has made his way onto the ranks here for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Jaron Bleeker did that last year, as that one gets shot out to center field, and Eastman with the pickup for out number 2. And now that brings up Rylan Malloy back to the plate. Or we shall see here. Looks like we have a different player coming on up here. Excuse me. And that will look to be Maddox White. Maddox White will get the his first trip up at the plate here in this game. And with a huge swing, comes up empty there, 0-1. And the 0-1, and here's now the delivery. That one sails a bit too far out of the zone. Again, Madden already coming into this inning has a trio of strikeouts up to this point. Hasn't really needed to strike out a whole lot. He's been able to hold this Roosevelt team at bay. Again, Caleb Lefevre out of Sioux City, Heelan, commits to Coach Heller and the Hawkeyes, second Heelan Crusader in the last 2 years to do so. The 2-1 delivery here from Madden, who has been exceptional on the mound, sends that one out of play. We go 2-2. All right, so here we go. 2-2. Calderon struck a single, turned it into a double, and since then 2 outs. That one right back up the middle, and nicely done at second. Spearheaded the backhand throw. It is not in time. Rorik with a heck of an attempt there, but had to backhand it late. That was a slow roller. In the end, bought some time. As White made his way onto the base pass for the first time, he picks up a single here, and now you can make that 5 hits on the day here for the Rough Riders, as now we get Miles Lorenzen back up for the second time. Meanwhile, Calderon stands on third now, and a chance to try and poke across a run here. That one sailing just a bit high on him. We go 1-0. Again, plenty of other things coming on or going around here. Again, across the Brent Prange Classic, and you can see all across our social media feed a ton of great stuff. Bo Collingwood had a big win, had a big game as number 2 PV wins a big one over Johnston. Collingwood 7 innings, 8 Ks, just 1 earned run in the process. Heck of an outing from him. And Sergeant Bluff Luton takes the win over North Polk. And Braxton Van Meter helped seal it with a 2-run long ball. And a big win here for the Warriors, who were looking for that big win over the last couple of weeks. And, of course, Waukee picking up a win as well early on. That one off the glove of Madden, and that will be put right into the grass, and that will be in no man's land. And with that, an RBI single credited to the 8-hole man, Miles Lorenzen, as the Rough Riders are on the board for the first time here in this one. So now runners at first and second. The 2-out rally has been effective here as we get Carson Klassen back up to the plate. Excuse me, we have a new batter to talk about here. And Gabe Blachowski, the sophomore, has 15 games played this season, 5 total bases, 2 runs driven in on the year. And right now he looks at a 2-0 count and trying to add some more. They would sure like to, in the end, they need runs to come in bunches if they don't want this one to end a little early. They stand on the wrong side of a 13-1 deficit, but they've crossed that 1 run here. So looking to add on to that one too low. We go 3-0 at the count. Again, a lot of good playing across the Brent Prange Classic. 39 teams involved with this. Every class represented at least 5 different schools worth. And that one goes too far outside. A 4-pitch walk will put the bases loaded for the second time in this one for the Rough Riders. So White stands on third, Lorenzen second, and Clausen at first. And we might potentially have a change here. We'll look to see. It looks like we will potentially get a pitching change in here, as if this is it, Madden will have officially gone 3 2/3 innings worth of work, and he struck out 3 in the process. And he will have to head on back, and he does so with a 13-1 advantage, most likely picking up the win here in this one. And we'll get a new pitcher here for you on the docket when we return from Jim Gebhardt Field after this.
RDA Financial Network is a proud sponsor of IABaseball.com. RDA supports the sport of baseball in the state of Iowa. We believe the game of baseball promotes many values such as hard work, determination, and teamwork, values that matter on and off the baseball field, and values that we demonstrate to our clients every day in our offices across the country. RDA provides financial planning and wealth management services to our clients in 6 communities in the state of Iowa. RDA Financial Network is an SEC-registered investment advisory firm. RDA advisors may offer securities through United Planners Financial Services, a member of FINRA and SIPC. United Planners is not affiliated with RDA Financial Network nor IABaseball.com. Please visit RDAFN.com to find an RDA advisor near you.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, into the broadcast here. Andrew Brown, as we continue to rock here from Jim Gebhardt Field in the Brent Prange Classic. Game number 3 on the docket. And Lucas Kelly sends that one high into left field. Coming on strong will be Jackson, as he'll fight the sun and get the out there on the pop-up into left. But not before we scratch across a run for the Roosevelt Rough Riders, as they poke across and decrease that lead by 1. And now we get the chance and head on into inning number 5. We continue to rock on, and when we get back, we'll be looking at 3, 4, and 5 in the lineup for the Wolves after this.
RDA Financial.
Hey everybody, got something special for all you electric fence owners out there. It's called Insulites, the LED flashing insulated light that you can see from up to half a mile or more away. It's so great you can see it from the comforts of your car or even your own home. That's right, you can put it onto almost any type of post out there, run the wire right through it, and that's all you need to do. Because Insulites goes with the pulse of the fence. So if there is no pulse, there is no flashing light, helping you locate where a problem may be or where a problem may exist that you didn't know was happening. It's simple as that. So you don't need to ground anything, add any bulky equipment, or shock yourself to test if your fence is working. All you need to do today is head to Insulites.com and get you some, and you will not be disappointed. It's simplicity at its finest. So go ahead to Insulites.com today and get you some. Oh, and by the way, make sure to tell them that IA Baseball sent you. Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Chase Jones kicking us off here as we go ahead in the top of inning number 5. Thanks again for joining us as we join with you. Again, Andrew Brown here, and happy to be with you. We are in game number 3 of our battle here from Jim Gebhardt Field, part of the Brett Prange Classic. A heck of a day, heck of a couple 2 days, I should say. Always a great time, and we can't thank enough Bill and everybody for letting us be a part of this journey, and arguably one of the best tournaments that this state has. Again, you get teams from all across the state and battles that you just wouldn't see anywhere else, including this one here. All 3 of them, which haven't had a lot of battles against each other. This series between the Rough Riders and the Wolves all tied up at 1. And right now, Waukee Northwest, they're looking at a chance to make it in their advantage here. As that one, Jones set down on strikes there for out number 1.
31.
And now we continue on and add even more newcomers into the mix. We have Gage Miller stepping on up here in his first plate appearance for the Wolves. And a close play at that one. Collision out there at first. In the end, first pitch ends up getting the out. But, man, that could have been disastrous there. In the end, it does go for out number 2. And now we get another newcomer into the mix here. And that will be number 16, Jack Hilgenberg. And the first pitch he sees is outside, ball 1. So 2 quick down here. There's only been 1 inning in which the Wolves have not scored. And that was the last inning in the 4th. And they're on pace to potentially make it 2 in a row where they haven't scored. But then again, they don't necessarily have any urgency to add more. They're already up by 12. And so with the 1-1 count, here we continue to rock. They'll look to fire, and that will be low and in the dirt. We go 2-1 the count. Again, catch up all across socials for a heck of a Prange Classic so far. We've covered a lot of great teams and a lot of fun along the way. So if you get the chance, if you see us out there, say hi. We have T-shirts available here as well at the Brent Prange Classic, wherever you can find us, and of course wherever the Brent Prange Classic is heading on. So now we go 2-2 the count with 2 down, and there has not been a base runner yet for the Wolves in this inning. And we look the next. That one is shot right back up, and a 1 chopper to the pitcher will be all she wrote. So the first 1-2-3 inning offensively for the Wolves, and that is how she will go ahead and wrap up the top half of the inning. We get the bottom half coming on up, and it will be 2, 3, and 4 coming on up for the Rough Riders right after this. Hey, everybody, got something special. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Brown here with IA Baseball. I'm here at the PBR Spring League, but man, there's a whole lot of good that I want to talk to you about outside of what's happening on the fields, and that includes the batting donut. That's right here. The batting donut, I would urge anybody to check out. It is a really cool way to help improve your confidence and boost your energy, boost your endurance, all by slipping this onto your bat. That's it. And hey, look at that. You got sprinkles, you got everything. It's the whole package. And by the way, they come in pink as well. They come in 9 and 16 ounce versions. So go ahead and check that out as soon as you get the chance. A great way to help boost your swing and boost the confidence of your swing as well. So again, if you get the chance, hey, check out the Batting Donut and check them out at the Batting Donut online, or hit them up at sweetenyourswing.com. And while you're there, let them know that IA Baseball sent you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we continue on, and we got more coming up. 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup here, and we got another new batter to talk about and bring to your attention. Gus Christensen, the senior, has a 243 mark to this point, has played through 22 games, has 9 hits up to this point, 1 extra base hit, 5 runs driven in. And we are going to have a little bit of a pause here for the umpire to catch his breath just a bit here. And sometimes the ball just goes where you just can't take the pain. And in the end, I'm just going to walk it off just a bit here and give us once a chance to remind you that we are headed to Tall Anderson Field in Omaha tomorrow. So along with covering the Brent Prange Classic, we will be at the Lynx Quad at Tall Anderson Field, and we'll be catching up the second game here all the way on to the end. Again, all the action starts at 10:30 with West Des Moines Valley and Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln. Our first coverage will come at 1 o'clock. 12:45 pregame, Sioux City East against West Des Moines Valley. And then East takes on Glenwood, followed by Glenwood and Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln in the nightcap. And again, that's all from Tall Anderson Field, the University of Omaha's baseball field. And we'll be there catching you live, loud, and proud. But right now, we continue on with Christensen up at the plate, and we have a 1-2 count. That one got away from him just a little bit here as we bring it even 2-2. And that one gets hit a little high, but that will be put out of play. Here we remain a 2-strike count. So from the 2-strike count we go. It's a 13-1 advantage in favor of Waukee Northwest.
I could never.
And the next pitch will get him swinging, but he caught just enough of that to keep his at-bat alive here. Again, it's 2-2. And again, it will be Roosevelt up against Davenport Assumption in the final game here from Sadell. 3 runs in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the sixth have given the Wolves their 13 runs. 1 run in the fourth is what's been on the offensive boards here for the Rough Riders here. So right now with a 3-2 count, trying to add on to that. The full count, that one's too far up and in, and an easy path onto the bases here as Christensen will get on via the walk. And now Kingston Cost back up to the plate for the 3rd time.
Now for the Rough Riders is number 5, Kingston Cost.
Cost is 0 for 3, has 2 groundouts under his belt. Again, a guy who's been invited to the area code games and multiple perfect game showcases over the years. Looking for his first his first look at college, and right now, in the high school ranks, he has a 1-0 count here at bat number 3. So the next pitch, too far inside. Cost has been proven to be rather effective in his patience here at the plate. Just hasn't been lucky enough to squeak one past the infield. Swing through on that one. That would be strike 1. And we go and move that to 2-1 on the day. So with the next pitch, that one's too far in the dirt. We go at 3-1. And again, it's Assumption against Roosevelt in game 4 here. And then, of course, across day 2 from Sadell. As we bring it up here, it will include Sadell, Martinsdale St. Mary's, Woodbury Central, and Sioux Central. Followed by Martinsdale St. Mary's and Woodbury Central, and MOC Floyd Valley against Sadell and the nightcap from there. And with that pitch going too far out of the zone, we now put runners on first and second, nobody down. And Jonah Calderon back up for the third time. He's 1 for 2 with a single. Pitch and fire. That one catches the outside corner just enough. We go strike one. And Calderon struck a single, and then on a wild throw, later got around to second. And he helped score the only run of the game so far for the Rough Riders. And so 0-2 here is the count. And again, this has been a game that started off fast and furious here for the Wolves. 13 runs in 3 innings. Since then, cooled down just a bit. That one popped out. That will be in shallow center for Eastman coming on, and he'll capture a quick out number 1. And now that'll bring up the number 5 hole man. And we will look to have a new batter once again coming on up. It will be Miles Tubbs joining the ranks. And now that one goes in there for the strike. 0-1 the count. On the year, Tubbs has played in several games, has 11 at bats, so not a ton under his credit so far. He does have a .273 average, 4 total bases on the season. So with the 1-1 count and 2 runners on, trying to keep the rally going. That one too far up and away, 2-1. And so as we get back at it here, 3-2 is the count here. We still have 1 down and 1 more game to follow this. Again, it is Assumption taking on Roosevelt in the nightcap here. That one is a high chopper out there. Nice pickup, and the fire gets him out there for out number 2. Meanwhile, the runner does move on in advance. 2nd and 3rd, here we go. And again, on the mound here is Nathan Reinholdt pitching here for the Waukee Northwest Wolves. And Joey Aaron's now stepping on up to the plate. That one fouled out of play, I should say. A quick 0-1 here. Again, this is a Rough Rider squad that's had their chances so far. They've had 2 opportunities with bases loaded, and unfortunately only capitalized on 1 run there. The 2 chopper out there to Jones across his body, and nicely done as he was tailing third base side. Across the body throw, ends up picking across out number 3, and thwarts another Roosevelt attempt at trying to get something more. And in the end, that is all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. A 13-1 advantage holds for the win as the Wolves end this one early, and that's where we stand. Again, the Wolves walk out of here a perfect 2-0 on the season. And meanwhile, as we take a look, they once again perfectly at that 2-0 mark. They officially moved their record now to 23-7 as they pick up 2 more wins here, and they will march on as we take a look at their road ahead, brought to you by RDA Financial. So the road ahead for the Wolves, on the 30th, they will wrap up the month of June at Urbandale, and then they will take on and start July with a home battle against Ankeny and a home battle against Johnston. So it's 13-1, the advantage heavily in favor of Waukee Northwest. They come out of here with 2 wins, and we will conclude this game here from Saydell High School and Jim Gebhardt Field. And we have the Rough Riders up against the Knights when we come back in our very next game. For right now, though, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap up our time here again. It is Waukee Northwest. They go ahead and poke across 13 runs, 8 hits, 5 runners left on base. And meanwhile, 1 run off 6 hits and 4 left on base here for the Rough Riders is how we wrap up our time here. And as you can see, the players of the game, again for both squads here and for Waukee Northwest, they will exit their time here at the Brent Prange Classic here at Jim Gebhardt Field. And we want to say thank you so very much for tuning in. Again, it is Assumption and Roosevelt coming up in just a bit. Don't go anywhere. More baseball right here on the iBaseball Network.